Are we there? Are we there? Are we live? Oh my gosh. What is going on, everybody? Valerie Walton at valeriewalton.com coming to you live from the suburbs of Washington, D.C. And child, we about to get in it today. This is about to be all the tea, all the shade, and all the lemonade. So this is going to be a pretty interesting one today, you guys. But definitely something that will help to empower you as you are looking to grow your home business. Now, I have been observing. This is just what I do as a coach as well as a marketer. I observe people's behavior, right? I observe their activities. This is just a part of what you do. And I notice that most folks, how do I word this? Most folks shoot themselves in the foot when they come to me asking, why isn't my business growing? Why am I having these problems? 9 times out of 10, it is them and their mindset. I don't think people understand, some people understand how important your mindset is, because your mindset shapes your perception of yourself, your perception of other people, your view of the world, and just how things work. And if you are living with a mindset of a huge ego, bad attitude, um, it's really going to mess you up in business. It really is. And so I'm going to share with you guys a couple of stories, true stories, true Hollywood stories, in the network marketing world. But I am not going to use any names. I want to use these experiences that I have observed as teaching moments, and not to use it in order to bash somebody or to throw shade at them. Okay, that's not the intention. The intention is to use this to reflect on and to hopefully grow from it. And any mature person, a mature entrepreneur, mature adult will be able to understand and accept that, I would think. Okay. So, yeah, I'm not going to use names or get super specific, but I am going to give you the facts. I'm going to tell you about what happened, and then I'm going to share my opinion on it. So, first things first, relationships are everything in business. Whether you're dealing with business partners, whether you're dealing with, people on your team, if you're in network marketing, whether it's your upline or your downline or your sideline, and also when it comes to your customers. So these are three different types of relationships that you're going to have to nurture. And one of the things, and I know this is controversial, but a lot of people talk about the fact that, respect should be earned. And then some say that respect should be given freely. My opinion on the subject is, yeah, I believe that you should give. I have no problem giving until you prove to me that I shouldn't, right? I will give you respect because I expect respect. I am going to treat you the way that I expect to be treated by any person, whether they know me or not. And, it's important to, as you are, coming across new people, meeting new folks that you may not know, you just never know who is super successful in this business and who's not. Because, see, you're not going to be able to tell by going to their Facebook profile necessarily. That may not necessarily happen, because if Facebook is not their primary platform, you're probably not going to see much on it, right? If their main platform, if they got like maybe 2,000-3,000 friends on Facebook and don't post much, don't get much engagement, and yet where they get their engagement is from YouTube and they've got, 200,000 subs, you're going to look a little foolish if, you're going to have egg on your face if you start thinking that this person isn't successful just because I don't see them driving a Lamborghini or flashing money around or something like that. And also, the definition of success depends on the person. Success for me is being able to have my freedom to choose to do what I want when I want. Success to me is being able to take care of my family and spend more time with my family. So that doesn't necessarily require millions of dollars for me to do, right? I have realized it does require six figures. And I've been able to get myself to that point. So I'm good. Now, even though I'm not, on a yacht right now, I am chilling in my office where, I got these pillows behind me and my thing, where is it? My thing is a little wrinkled and all that. So what? So what? That doesn't dictate, what my bank account looks like or how many people that I impact or help. And that's definitely something to keep in mind. And again, it's all mindset stuff. And also how you treat people, it's definitely mindset stuff. So here's a story. I recently saw someone ask for help inside of my group, right? So I'm in a Facebook group where, this is a whole tribe of entrepreneurs from all over the place. We've got entrepreneurs that are real estate agents, entrepreneurs that are network marketers, whether that's in health and wellness or, e-commerce or travel. And we got people who are affiliate marketers in various programs. And then we got people who are coaches. And within that community, there have been people like myself who were chosen to lead that group, lead that community, and further help those entrepreneurs to grow and to go next level. I take that very seriously. I honor that. And so have the other leaders that were chosen to do it. Every single day, I get new members into that group. Every single day, we see them. And that group is a basis of support. There is nothing but love in that community. And honestly, to me, it is more than a community, it is family. I have created some very strong bonds with other entrepreneurs and leaders and coaches um, in that community. And it's really special to me. And so, as we get new people coming in, there are always questions. And we do our best to answer those questions, not by sugarcoating, not by telling you what you want to hear, but sometimes telling you what you need to hear. Sometimes helping you snap out of this fantasy land of, oh my gosh, I've been doing this business for 90 days. How come I'm not rich yet? It does not work that way. And, we're all different. How we lead, how we coach, how we mentor is different. So how we speak is going to be a little different. And so, there's one particular, there's a person who asked a question, and the question, obviously this person needed some help with growing their business. And that's to a certain extent what they said. I've been, trying to grow my business for a few months now, and I'm not getting the results that I want, was basically the gist of that. They mentioned that they're on various platforms, which is a mistake. And I'm only saying that not to tear the person down, but because I experienced that myself. So I know firsthand it's a mistake. And I've worked with so many entrepreneurs, over 4,000 entrepreneurs over these past 5 years. And those who try to do multiple platforms at once when they're new, right, within their first year, it turns out it's a mistake. So, so I could totally relate to this person's post and this person's question. However, when I first saw it, I did not answer. I didn't comment on it because there were already people who had basically come to the rescue and answered the question, including other leaders. And so I figured I really don't need to say much because they kind of pinpointed it. There were, you know, members who answered, and then there were also leaders, mentors who answered. And so I felt like everything was fine. Where I do have a problem, though, is when I see people just being outright disrespectful for no good reason. Now, most times, because I'm still learning this, most times I will go off. Most times I will, I would have roasted somebody. But the more you mature in business and the more you mature as a person in life, the more you realize that's not always necessary. There are times when you just need to clarify because people misinterpret what you're trying to say, especially when it's written, right? Um, so that was the only point that I stepped in because again, we're all family. We're all after the same thing. We're all on that same journey. Nobody, I've never, I've never seen anybody in that tribe seek to tear anyone down ever. I don't see it. What I see back there is nothing but support and love and encouragement and empowerment and great tips. Some of the best, most effective tips out there, you know? And so we had one leader, because I believe, yeah, it was three leaders that I know well that had all answered the question. There's one leader in particular kind of was pretty blunt about what needs to be done. I agreed with that leader as well as the rest. You know, if you are on multiple platforms, number one, stop that. You need to choose one and you need to stick with that. Focus on that. Another thing is if you've only been doing it for a few months, then and you've been on multiple platforms, there is no focus. Another thing is, did you do a foundation check? Did you make sure that you have set the foundation for your business before you go out here and you start posting? Also, we teach you how to set that foundation. We teach you what you should and should not be posting. And so, from what I gathered from the comment thread, was that, you know, this person was coming across to their audience as someone who was focused on negative as opposed to serving the audience. And again, no big deal. This is a mistake that all of us make when we first get started, and you learn from it and you change. But when this one leader pointed that out, that, this is not about doing this for 2-3 months, this is about really becoming a true marketer. You can't mimic. You cannot mimic. I've done an entire call on this. I've done a 1 hour Facebook Live on this before. You cannot just look at what you see people doing. Oh, they're getting success over here on TikTok. Great. I'm going to go over there. Oh, they're having success over here on Instagram. Oh, I'm going to go over there. Oh, this person got, 60 leads in 5 minutes on LinkedIn. Oh, I'm going to go over there. Because you're not going to be making decisions based on what's best for you and your business. You're going to be making decisions based on shiny object syndrome. And that's going to distract you. It's going to keep you from focusing. It's going to keep you from what's really important, which is, where are your strengths? And the strengths that you have from the things that you've done in the past, things that you've accomplished, are those things in alignment with the business that you've selected to build and the strategy, the marketing strategy that you have decided to use? Which platform are you going to get on? Is that in alignment with what you're strong with? So, for example, for me, I'm really good with, public speaking. I'm good in front of an audience, and I can also think pretty quickly on my feet. Therefore, I stick with video, and mainly live video, because then I don't have to edit anything. Yay. That's my jam. That's my thing. So these types of things were mentioned, the fact that you need to focus on just the one. And I think that this one leader made mention of the fact that, most network marketers have been taught to go out here and follow the trend. Most network marketers have been taught to basically just mimic, go out here and post, and you're not really paying attention to the value you're providing. Are you? Are you providing value? Was this leader's main question. Um, because if you're not, then what you're going to need to do is become more valuable by building up your knowledge base around your niche. If you don't know much more than the people you're trying to sell to, you're not going to be very effective at being able to communicate with them, because you're not going to be able to help them solve their problems, because you got the same problem, you still don't know the answer, right? It was kind of more along those lines, and that's what I picked up from it, especially considering that I know all of these folks in this community. Well, leader number 1 that made their comment, no problem. Leader number 2 that made their comment, no problem. But this third leader, leader number 3, was then just attacked. I just feel like this leader was attacked because the leader didn't say anything unwarranted or rude or anything like that. Not at all. Was he blunt? Yes. Was he rude? No. Was he disrespectful? Absolutely not. He brought up things about network marketing that are always brought up about network marketing, especially when a person has a question about their posts not getting enough engagement and them not generating enough leads, which then causes them to not be able to have the right kinds of conversations with people. If you're frustrated about that and a leader mentions, well, this is what you got to do, and you take offense to that, one must ask themselves, why did I just get triggered? What was it about what this person said? Because, when we're dealing with social media, things are written down, things get lost in translation when it's written, right? So the way that you read it, the way that you interpret it, the meaning that you add to it could possibly cause you to interpret it a different way than was intended. Is it that person's fault? No. They said what they said. If you misunderstood, see, and this is why I like to ask people for clarification. What exactly do you mean by that? When you say this, what do you mean by that? Because I don't want to interpret what somebody said as being rude or being disrespectful to me when that wasn't their intention at all. And again, if I'm the person that asked the question, I'm the person seeking help, then why would I be upset when somebody does just that and answers my question? And so the original poster goes back and is like, well, I don't appreciate what you said to me, and I'm not like these other marketers out here. I'm not stupid. Whoa, right there. That was offensive to all network marketers. Network marketers aren't stupid. People aren't stupid, right? Where people are having problems with network marketing is not, it has absolutely nothing to do with their intelligence. And that right there is just wrong to say. So they go on, I'm not one of these dumb, network marketers. I've been in, they didn't say business. They said, they were in a certain profession for over a dozen years. And yet that profession has zero to do with network marketing, which just further proved leader number 3's point. That was the point. You may be knowledgeable in certain things, but where you're not knowledgeable is network marketing. Because if you were, you wouldn't have the question. If you were, you wouldn't have the problem. You get, so mind you, this leader did not reply back, but the person was like, I've been in this profession for this amount of years, which has nothing to do with network marketing at all. Like none of that. Nor does it have anything to do with the niche that they're working in. Right. And then they're like, I don't need to be a genius to know how to do this. Da, 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 da. Person never said that. The leader never said any of that. So you see how we can take things and interpret them and add meaning that wasn't even there. And because of that, and it was obvious that this person was new, it was obvious that this person didn't realize who they were talking to. because they just went off on one of the biggest leaders in network marketing. You just burned a bridge beyond repair without realizing it. Ouch. Not only is this one of the biggest marketers, they're in the Hall of Fame of our community. They're on the leadership page right along with me and quite a few other huge names. But just because this person didn't recognize them, this original poster thought it was okay to tell this person off. I guess I don't know what the hell was going on. That was crazy. It was crazy because they came back, right? Their response was so far away, so on a tangent of what the leader had said, that I was just like, oh, this person must be having a bad day. But what I do not like, what caused me to want to post, is that I don't appreciate people being disrespectful, especially within that community. We're all family here. And like I said, we all want the same thing. We're all looking to help each other out. And for one of our biggest leaders to come on and say something when they didn't have to, they didn't have to contribute, they didn't have to be generous enough with their time and their knowledge to share a few tips with you, just for you to turn around and say you don't like their tone. What tone? It's text. It was written out. And so I had to say something, because that particular leader has personally scooped me up under his wing and has helped me with certain things that I cannot even, my level of gratitude, I cannot even put into words for just how kind and generous this person has been for me in my life. I just I couldn't fathom anybody being that crass. And so I had to say something. Now, on the street, I might have had to, roast some folks. But considering we were in a professional setting, I just said, you might not realize who this person is. This is actually, you're saying, oh, I mean, they just went off. They were like, oh, you probably, I saw your page and you don't even have this amount of engagement and da da da. I'm doing better than you are. And yet this person graduated from MIT. This person has been bringing in 5 figures a month just from working 1 hour a month. This person, like I said, is one of the top leaders in the Hall of Fame of our community. This person actually has courses that he's created that we have in a person's training library. And because this original poster didn't see all of that on one platform, on one profile, they made assumptions that made them look foolish. And I don't think they realized, when they said what they said in response to that leader's comment, I don't think they realized just how bad they burned that bridge and just how bad they made themselves look. And so I was trying to soften the situation a little bit and just kind of tap. Yeah, you here's some stuff you might want to know, right? This community is nothing but helpful. Nobody is looking to tear you down, judge you. We don't care that much. We're all busy trying to build our business. And yeah, this is like one of the major leaders here. It just so happens he doesn't use Facebook as one of his main platforms. He's a webinar genius. And everything that I've learned about webinars and how I've been able to grow has been through webinars too. And this man makes really good living with what he does. And his main platform is not Facebook. So you wouldn't be able to go to Facebook and go look him up and see all this engagement and all these posts. He doesn't post every day. He doesn't use Facebook like that. But if you knew certain things about, because that's something else that you got to understand. The leaders we have in the online space, they don't all do the same thing. You've got some folks that had their rise to and their claim to fame through Instagram. So again, going to go look at their Facebook posts and Facebook profile wouldn't tell you anything. Um, I've had, people, they've seen me on YouTube and they only see, oh, you have a small amount of subs, but you haven't seen the over 10,000 people I have on my Facebook page. You know what I mean? So, and honestly, none of that matters, because see, a true successful marketer understands this. And this is why, I feel bad for the person, because I know for a fact that there are other leaders that looked at that and was like, I'd never help her. She got a nasty attitude. She's just nasty for no reason. And I'm like, I'd like to give the person the benefit of the doubt. And they still deserve the help. So I don't mind, trying to diffuse the situation a little bit. But you can't just judge a book by its cover. You can't judge who's doing well and who's not off of a social media post or anything like that. You can't even judge it. Like I've noticed people will pay attention to how many people are following you. Who the hell cares? None of that stuff really matters. You know what matters is how many people you're impacting, how many people you are attracting to you for help. And a lot of times that part happens behind the scenes. I just recently had about half a dozen folks just in the past couple days reach out to me out of the blue and ask me about, how do I always stay so positive and upbeat? Do I have some tips for them on improving their mindset? Now, imagine, I'm not going to say whether this is true or not, but imagine if I had a mindset course that I created for, I don't know, $200-300. And these 6 people have come to me asking, what do I recommend that they do to help improve their mindset? And I was able to offer that to them. That's nothing that you would have ever seen on a Facebook post, multiply that. Multiply that 6 times $300. And that's on the low end. If I did a mindset course, it would probably be more than that, but I'm just using this as an example. Okay. $1,800 that I would have made in just a few moments of having a brief conversation with people that asked me, what do I recommend for mindset? Why wouldn't I recommend what I made? I didn't take the time to make it for no reason. You know what I mean? So something to think about. Some of us as marketers, we're looking at the wrong thing. And again, you will fall into the trap of shiny object syndrome when you look at, you can buy a course, you can attend a training or a webinar, and you can see people having success all over the place. It doesn't mean that that's what you should do too. Again, if you're going to build a business online, you got to have an anchor. And you're going to have to be crystal clear on who you are as a person, what your strengths are, and what kind of problems you solve for the marketplace. And then you need to understand your market. And again, I mean, that's not really anything different than what that leader number 3 had said. So it's just a matter of really thinking about that, because I guarantee you that had she paused for a moment to think about what leader number 3 was saying and processed that and used it, that would have solved all the problems that she was having with her posts. I believe that she would have been able to find a more streamlined way to save tons of time in order to get more leads and more money coming into her business. But I also believe what stopped her was mindset, because the way you view the world, the way you view other people, the way you interpret and make meaning out of what people say is all based on your mindset. And to take one of the kindest people I know and to treat them as if they just insulted you, spit on your shoes, slapped you in the face, when they didn't do that, says more about you than it says about the person that you attacked. And I have to call it an attack because they didn't do anything. They answered the question that that person asked. So you have stuff like that, right? And it's sad to see because I'm like, why do we even have to go there? Why do we even have to be like that towards this person? No, nobody, no, ain't nobody trying to hurt you, child. Like, calm down. You know what I'm saying? So please be careful with what you're doing with relationships, because you go and try to tell somebody off and come to find out that this person is actually exactly what you needed. Now you done burnt the bridge. You don't know who they know and how many more bridges you've burned because of how you treated this person, because relationships are everything. You know what I mean? And even how you present yourself, right? Now listen, I'm all for standing up for yourself. I am all for that. I'll do that in a heartbeat myself. I will see people try to be condescending or rude to me and I will say something to them. But again, when you are building up a reputation, when you are showcasing your professionalism, when you are learning something new that you didn't know before, right? This is new. It's good to be humble. It's good for you to not show up with this big ego and ask for help when you know, and then when you get it, you want to flex. Oh, well, you don't know who I am. I'm this, I'm that. Doesn't matter. How's that working out for you in your business? What does you having a previous profession that has nothing to do with what you're doing now, how does that help you? There is no relation. Because you were good at something doesn't now automatically make you good at marketing. It doesn't mean that you're going to pick up marketing just like that. It does not work that way. It's new to you. And you have to be open-minded enough to process what the people before you who have blazed a trail for you and made it easier for you, at least be open enough to listen. If you're not going to be if you're not going to listen and you're not going to be coachable and you're not going to be open-minded and all you want to focus on is your ego, you're not going to get very far. And you're going to keep burning bridges and keep ruining relationships. And if you ruin relationships, you're essentially ruining your business. No relationships, no revenue. No revenue, no business. And it's so sad to see. And I sure hope that what I said helped. I hope the person paused for a moment to really think about, you know, what they did or what they said, or even deeper, why was that so triggering for them to feel like they needed to lash out when all we were all trying to do was just help, right? So I did kind of stand up for that leader, and attest to the fact that they're nothing but helpful and they know their stuff. They've been doing this for, gosh, I don't even know how long they've been doing it. Like, what, like 14 years or something like that? It's been crazy. They've been doing it for a long time and they're very proficient at what they do. And they're so very helpful, and that they personally took the time to help me and hook me up with some stuff to help me grow my business. Man, I can only imagine if she would have been open enough to let him do the same for her, you know? But what are you going to do? Anyway, that's story number one. Story number two, I'll try to make this brief. I was trying to split it up in our hour, half and half. So story number two about burning relationships has to do with a network marketing company that I was in. They do not consider themselves MLM, but they are definitely network marketing. And I grew a pretty large team pretty quickly. I hit 5 figures a month in just 5 months. And I was actually disappointed because I was trying to do it in 3 to 4. So I was about a month off. But it was okay. I hit the goal. I won a free trip out of the country. I won a car of my choice, in addition to the 5 figures a month. Pretty freaking cool, right? So as I'm growing this team, I have an upline and I got a downline. So in a nutshell, let me explain, let me describe to you my upline. My upline was basically jealous because they have been doing network marketing for 14 years, hadn't seen anybody get results like me. I've only been in network marketing for 6 years, and I really don't count my first year because it was hell. It was terrible. And I had gotten no results. So if you were to ask me, I'd typically say 5. All right. But anyway, I mean, I cannot describe it in any other way but jealousy, because even from a conversation we had, it was, again, all of this. Do not allow social media to deceive you, because one of the things that they said to me was, it seems like you're distracted by doing other things. What other things, pray tell? Are you talking about the other things that I was doing before I came into this company that I'm still able to do, as well as grow this company like you've never seen in your life, child? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, right. Really wasn't much to say. Oh, you seem distracted because you're over here and you've got your own coaching business, and then you're over here and you're a leader at this place. And I really think you should focus more on us, on this team. How much more focus do you want me to give? I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous. And I said to them, haven't y'all been consistently making money? Yes. Haven't your checks actually been growing since I've been on this team? Yes. Well, what's the problem? And I'm talking about growing to the tune of $50,000, $60,000 checks for the month. What your problem is? Like, and why are you worried about what I'm doing over here? And if you really want to know, why not just ask me what I'm doing or how I'm able to juggle it all? Like, why not do that? Anyway, so there's the description of the upline. Downline, I had, for the most part, amazing people in my downline. Ambitious. They very much wanted the same kinds of things that I wanted. They had the same kind of values as me, for the majority of them, right? They wanted more time with their family. They wanted to be happier. They wanted to, and when I say happier, they wanted to be able to be healthy, wealthy, and wise, child. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to have their freedom. They wanted to be able to, retire their spouses, just things like that, just to live a good life and help other people do the same thing. But I also had a few folks in my downline who just didn't like me. I don't know why. Not my job to figure that out. And I do realize I'm not everybody's cup of tea. That's fine. That's totally cool with me. But it doesn't block my blessings. I'm not here on this planet for everyone. I'm not Jesus. Okay. I'm here on this planet to carry out a mission that I chose. Right? God gave me the freedom to choose how my life was going to have meaning and what purpose I wanted it to have, and how I want to live life and what I'd like to create and see manifest. And that's what I do. The people that want to come along for the ride, let's go. People that don't, nice to meet you. See you later. All the best to you. You would think. But then you get a person or two that's like, I don't like the way that she teaches her team. I don't like what advice she's giving. I don't like how she says what she says. Because many of you that know me, I'm pretty blunt. That's just me. That's who I am. All right. So, and again, there's never an intention to tear someone down. The intention is with love, but it's tough love, because I'm tired of seeing people struggle when they don't have to. I am tired of seeing people talk about how hard it is to grow a home business when it's not. I am tired of seeing people not able to make the money that they truly desire, not able to break free into the lifestyle that they really want to have, all because of a belief, a false belief, a limiting belief. And so a lot of times it requires being blunt. It requires me telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And I have had people who have come to me and said, well, I need some help in my business. And I had to tell them, you need to stop doing this and start doing this. This is not producing any income for you. So why are you doing it? You're wasting time. Why would you volunteer to give up your time? It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve your family. There are times that I've had to say that to people, and it's like, you got to shake them. Right. And then, you'll have people that are like, well, I don't like you for saying that to me. Just like this previous example of this original poster having a problem with leader number 3. Don't ask if you don't want the tea. At least don't ask me if you don't want the tea. If you don't want the truth from me, don't ask me for it, because I'm going to give it to you. And I'm going to give it to you straight because I love you, because I care about you and your well-being, and because you've been lied to long enough. Once was too much. So evidently there was a handful of folks, I don't know, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5. I don't know. I don't even know how many. But what they decided to do, I want you to picture this. You've got an upline, you got your downline, right? And then you got me in the middle. And what they decided to do, the upline and the downline decided to bypass me and get together over here somewhere in the corner, sneaking around. Thinking back on it now, I'm like, whoa, child, I must have been pretty scary for y'all to think that y'all needed to tiptoe back around in the background, right behind the scenes, to go conspire. I really think that was ridiculous, because the way I would have handled it was, if there's a problem, let's come together and address it. I got no problem with that. That didn't happen for me. So they got together. I kid you not. They got together and they decided to start having secret meetings about me to the corporate office. They decided to start having secret meetings regarding the team without me involved. And then they also included my direct upline, the person that brought me into the company, because they knew that we were super tight, best friends. And so they were leaving her out of the loop too. That's how much they wanted to make sure that it didn't get back to me. Now, see, they didn't want to address me and have a sit down, honest conversation, open conversation. They didn't want that. And at the same time, they also didn't want me to leave because I was making them big money. The deception was crazy. You don't realize how many bridges you burn being sneaky, vindictive, deceptive. What's the point of all that? What's the freaking point? When I picture living a good life, I picture living an honest life, an open life. I consider myself an open book. I mean, yes, there's some things in my life that are private, right? I'm not going to sit up here and tell you about sex with my husband, but but like, well, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. But like, I'm pretty much an open book. What you see is what you get. And I know so many people say that, but it's not true for so many people. You know what I mean? Anyway, they got together. They did all this stuff. I found out very quickly, just because somebody slipped up and mentioned one of their private secret meetings they had. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. What's going on? And so I go and approach my upline. Typically, my upline would reply back to me in less than 5 minutes. All of a sudden, it took them 2 days to get their story straight. I mean, to get back to me. Okay. And then to find out that my downline was a part of it, including people I personally enrolled who I thought were friends, because I treat everybody like a friend until you prove to me that I can't treat you like that, you know? And after discovering all of this absurdity, I say, you know what? I'm out of here. If y'all have such a problem with me, I'm not a desperate person. I'm not going to beg you, convince you that I need to be here. It has been made clear to me that I do not need to be here. This is not healthy for anybody. You want my downline so bad. Like, they literally bypass me to get to my downline and then tell my downline she's not really thinking about you guys. She's focused on other things. She's distracted. Let me help you. I can help you get better results than she can. Well, here's what's crazy. Once I left, after helping so literally hundreds of people go from nothing to thousands of dollars, not one person on that team ever made as much money as they did with my help. Burned bridges. Because now, here we are a year later, I'm thriving more now than ever before. And I'm very excited about some projects that I have coming up. And it would have been nice to have some folks a part of that, but they burn the bridges. And I protect my energy. So it is really important to nurture and cherish your relationships. It is important for you to treat everybody, that good old adage, treat everybody the way that you would want to be treated. Be a true professional out here and just be a good person. It's not that hard. And that's coming from me, and I'm blunt as hell, child. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really hope this has brought you some valuable insight today. And I'm looking forward to seeing you back here again. Same Profitpreneur time, same Profitpreneur channel, live at 5. Bye.